In the beautiful green hills of Henan province, China, farmers tilling the land stumbled upon something extraordinary, something they've never seen before. And as they removed the dirt with their shovels, it was a massive skull with other large bones next to it, far larger than anything they'd ever seen before. One of them said, "Yo, this is..." I don't think they say yo. Wow, this is like the mythical dragons we've always had in our culture fabric for millennia. The discovery spread quickly through the village and elders and scholars were summoned to examine the bones. Surprisingly, the skeleton was very similar to a legendary dragon Chinese people always believed in, the Lun Dragon. This skull was interpreted as proof of dragons, but they were likely the remains of large prehistoric animals like dinosaurs. Surprisingly, Europe few years after that saw many discoveries of large bones just like China. One of them in the English countryside, when a group of children playing by a river found enormous fossilized bones jutting out from the riverbank. They've never seen bones like those before. They brought them to the local blacksmith who told them they were remains of a dragon. Bastard! He stole it from the Chinese! Hold on, Bandy, hold on, man. There were legends on dragons in Europe just like China. In fact, many other large bones and skulls across other countries in Europe were found during the same period. Greeks and Rome found other ones and attributed them to titans. In Canada, petroglyphs were found of large creatures with wings and elongated bodies on them, and that's on different stones of different parts of the Anunnaki people. In Utah, San Rafael's Well, which is a touristic place known for its stunning rock formations in ancient petroglyphs. People found among these carvings one with unusual depiction, a winged reptile with an elongated head, membranous wings, and cloud feet, strikingly similar to the dragons of other cultures including the ones found in Canada. Bastards! They stole it from each other. Dude, why does it have to be someone stole something from the other? The question now arises, how could societies with no contact describe such similar creatures? It must have been a human experience instead of a legendary story everyone has. I mean, even their religions were different than each other. Why does it have to be only dragons copy-pasted, with slight differences across all of them? Except Podefy. It has always been the same legend, no changes included. Who wrote this joke? You? Reports of dragon-like creatures persist even in modern times. In 2004, two discoveries were found on this. One in Africa, there was a creature locals already had in their legends, and called Mokele Mbembe.
Bon, c'est ce que les gens disent, mais je crois pas effectivement que c'est du fétiche. L'animal est réel.
In the second in South Dakota, where three amateur paleontologists discovered and couldn't figure out what it was. They handed it over to the Children's Museum of Indiana Police. The skull remained unclassified for 2 years despite expert analysis. And even it was large, scientists largely agreed it was of a baby animal. Dang. Judging by the size of the skull, the creature was estimated to be at least 3 meters long. I'm talking a baby animal. In 2017, and for the first time in history, we managed to find a complete skeleton of a dragon-like creature. Paleontologists in China found it as they were digging on another fossil in a small province well known for its rich fossils from early Cretaceous period, in other words 125 million years ago. One of the most striking features of the skeleton was the presence of clear wings on it. They were similar to those found in pterosaurs, which suggests that the creature could have been capable of flying. Well, chickens have wings and they don't fly. When are you gonna stop interrupting me? Chickens can't fly, man. Kinda. Look at this picture. This is one picture among many other pictures in southern Peru. You can't see them unless you're taking a flight or through a satellite, which in this case is online maps. I use Magic Earth. Okay. Yeah. Bandy, what the f? It's exactly why they weren't discovered till the early 1980s, after the invention of both satellites and airplanes. And it was just an accident. Yup, it was just a commercial aviation that took off. And as pilots flying over the arid plains of Nazca, they began to notice strange lines. This is where they were first discovered, even though they're believed to have been made between 500 BCE and 500 CE. There was only one person that mentioned them before, which is Pedro Cieza, who was in a journey of discovering the New World. He mentioned mysterious signs in the Peruvian deserts in his chronicle. However, he didn't describe them in detail or recognize their full extent. The Inca Empire, which Peru was part of at that time, was ruled by a Spanish explorer just like Pedro, and he's the first person to find the Inca Empire. But he wasn't lucky enough to find these lines Pedro spoke about. I'm confused, how did an explorer took over one of the strongest, most advanced empires at that time under the Spanish crown? I guess Peru's emperor was confused as too. Are you coming to explore? It looks like you guys are unpacking your stuff. Nah, don't worry. Mysterious place. New World. Yeah, New World. Yeah, well, what about like the army behind you? Looks like you guys are onto something else. No, mysterious place. He governed that place for 7 years after that. Now what's interesting about these lines, they were drawn over an area of nearly 190 square miles. Most of the Nazca lines were constructed more than 2,000 years ago by the people of Nazca culture, even though some people think they're the work of early Paracas culture instead. Now how exactly were they drawn is still a mystery till today. Because to draw something like that perfectly, even though you have no top view to see what you're drawing, except for near mountains that even the lines themselves aren't clear enough from, is something really interesting to think about. Among these lines, you can see a hummingbird, spider, pelican, whale, Monkey in something that looks like no other animal that we know other than a giant flying bird with giant wings. Wait, what? Yup, a dragon. It doesn't have to be fire breathing to be a dragon, but any large bird with a giant body, wings and neck, is considered as a dragon in this case. Scientists found a skeleton fragment in Queensland belonging to a flying creature with 7 meters wingspan in a middle-long school. It was identified as an ahaguera, a rare species of flying reptile with 40 teeth. Gold miner John Reeves
Holy shit.
discovered a blue feather inside the mammoth toes in Alaska.
One of my most significant finds ever is a blue feather. It was buried deep inside the hollow end of a 10-foot mammoth tusk that was under 65 feet of overburden in the gravels. People go, what's your most significant find ever? You go, that blue feather. I don't know what the that is. I've heard from paleontologists that's impossible. There were no birds up here with blue feathers.
The feather's origin remains unexplained, as there were no birds with blue feather in Alaska during the Ice Age. Scientists in biology think it's possible these types of creatures could have existed and even breathe fire. Think about the Bombardier beetle. It's a small insect that can shoot boiling, noxious chemicals from its abdomen as a defense mechanism, and even aim perfectly at the spot they want, the same way legends used to say on dragons. While the chemical itself doesn't produce fire, it can easily do if mixed with methane. If you think methane production is hard to, then you can take a look at ruminants. They produce methane. Dragons could have had a similar biological mechanism, using methane and silicon steel deposits on their teeth to ignite flames. Some paleontologists propose that ancient flying reptiles like pterosaurs could have inspired dragon legends. These massive creatures ruled the skies during the age of dinosaurs, and some had wingspans of over 30 feet. For creationists, this logic fits them very well. Dragons were dinosaurs, and some may have lived a little further than others for many reasons. One of them is that they could withstand difficult conditions that other dragons might not have been able to withstand. When old earthers hear this, they usually laugh. These young kids don't even know what they're talking about. Dragons were dinosaurs and man, get out of here. In my days, we were hunting dinosaurs with bare hands. Recently in Popular Science, they've written an article that slapped these guys in the face. It was written from an evolutionary POV. It acknowledged that most dragon biology is real world, even though they're not found together in a single creature, but most classic dragon characteristics do exist in other species. Popular Science? No, dragons you could say, these are only a few pieces of evidence on the surface. They make you question that there is no doubt dragons could have existed on Earth, and that we just need one small clear thing that removes doubt from certainty. But discoveries are still occurring, and that's in different regions around the world, till today, with new things discovered every year or two. Like, subscribe, please.